Welcome once again back to the lab. It is your old Professor Pilk, and we are currently in the middle of the Typhlosion rerun, the Hisuian Typhlosion rerun. And it really does beg a couple of questions. Now, if you didn't watch my video last week, I love Vaporeon for this. Vaporeon's run is so easy. You can not one-shot this. I believe there is a way to do a one-hit kill, but you have to do some setup. It's a bit harder, and you do need some friends for it, but it is possible. But nevertheless, more to the point, what I really wanted to come today to discuss is whether or not people are really actually hyped for all these Hisuian versions. Now, I like the Hisuian versions. Personally, I think they're great versions of the Pokemon. But let's be fair here. I won't say most players. I'll say a fair number of players do have access to the Hisuian versions. And they're actually around. A lot of them were being passed around in Wonder Trades. I know I was doing some Wonder Trades on them personally. So they are around. They're available. It's not necessarily a bad choice per se, but I think there's other variants that they could throw out there. Namely, and I talked about this last week, the Alolan variants, which are incredibly hard to come by. You have to have, obviously, Sun and Moon or Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon on the DS. But not only that, you have to have Pokemon Bank in order to transfer them. And if you haven't looked at what it costs to get a DS right now with Pokemon Bank, it is incredibly expensive. If you didn't already have that installed, remember March of this year actually, but March past, it was the cutoff. If you didn't have it installed at that point, it's done. So if you're coming into this a little late into the game, hate to admit it, but it's true. I didn't have it installed on my DS. I had to find a DS with it. Or do the hack shops. That is a distinct option. I've really talked too much about that, but I like to keep things like as legitimate as possible. Though, if I'm honest here, hack shops are a completely viable option for anybody out there who really does want to obtain the Alolan versions and all that. If you guys want a tutorial on that, I don't have a DS that I can do it with, but we can talk about it. All the DSs I own are limited editions, or like I said, that 2DS that I recently bought that I want to keep in pretty good standing. But nevertheless, more to the point, I think the Alolan versions would have been a better choice. The thing is, they're not starters, and I get it. These are starters, and all the raids so far, with rare exception, have been starters or legendaries or paradox versions of legendaries. So I understand the sentiment of what they're going for here. It just feels, for lack of a better way to put it, misguided. Just because, there's no argument that next up is going to be Hisuian Samurai. We just had Hisuian, obviously right now we got Hisuian Typhlosion, we had Hisuian Decidueye. If they don't do Hisuian Samurai next, if they don't announce him on Sunday, I will be flabbergasted. So, it's a fair guess that that's actually what's coming. We'll talk about that once it is officially announced. But more to the point here... Ooh, we do need Rain Dance again. More to the point here, I want to know what you guys think. Are any of you actually hyped for all of this stuff that they're doing recently? Because I'm going to be honest, it feels kind of redundant. I know I, for one, had farmed up a bunch of these Hisuian versions. I'd been throwing them around in... when you do a cheer heal because of that critical. I'd been throwing them around in Wonder Trades and things like that, because that's what I do. It feels very redundant. It feels like there's better things they could be doing. Namely, I would love to see Scarlet and Violet, and I think it's completely within the realm of possibility to have Scarlet and Violet be the one game that has a full national dex. I think that is completely within the realm of possibility, and frankly should be the aim at the moment. Oof. That's no good. We're not going to get a lot of healing out of it either because we don't have our Terra Orbs. The critical hit did more damage than I realized. It's all good. We got some healing here. We'll go ahead, and if I Terastallize, I'm going to get croaked. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll take the L, and we'll do a... Well, I don't even think we're going to get the fake tears off. We'll take the L here. Take it as just a free heal. Loss of a little bit of time. and then we'll terastallize and start going to town. I guess could be the smart way to play this one. The critical hit just kind of threw me off a little bit. Sometimes a decisive L is what the doctor ordered. All right. So he's not completely built up, but pretty darn close. We'll need to do a rain dance, a fake tears, and then we'll just go to town on this. So the long and the short of it here, and essentially what I'm trying to get at in all of this, is what would you guys like to see? Would you rather see, the Hisuian versions, and even the Alolan versions, which are arguably and significantly more rare, or would you rather each and every raid from this point on be a new mon added to the national dex, so that eventually we get a complete full national dex? I'm talking maybe even have big events up to and including the Ultra Beasts. I know we got Beast Balls in the game. I actually already spent all mine, unfortunately, but we had Beast Balls in the game, which does insinuate that at some point in time, Ultra Beasts likely will be coming to the game. So, and I think they even said that the goal here was eventually to have the national dex. So having all of these Hisuian-specific versions at the moment doesn't seem very conducive. Now, the counterpoint to this, and the argument that I definitely could see being made, is by doing this now, and then once Indigo Disc drops and we get, Raging Bolt and like a couple other things, then maybe just to keep the game alive. Because remember, they did say that there's now going to be deeper gaps between all the newer games. And with all the DLCs and all that stuff, I definitely could see larger gaps forming between these games. It makes tons of sense. Are we running out of time? Oh my goodness. There we go. We got it. So, you let me know in the comments down below. Would you rather have the newer units now and expand the dex, or do you think it's completely viable and actually probable that we hold off and that we get all those units maybe after Indigo Disc drops, and then at that point the dex just expands essentially up to the point at which we get that, inevitable newer game? I personally kind of feel like they could do it now. He just jumped the gun. Did you see that? We had literally had enough time for me to get turned, and he was like, "No, bruh, no." That was rude. That was super rude. Anyway, guys, you let me know. I'm about to go fight this fool all over again. Between that critical hit and that noise, he's going down. I probably had a little sloppy run just because I was sitting here chatting with y'all, but it's revenge time. I'm going to have to go focus up. You let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Like, comment, share. I got to go fight Typhlosion. I'll catch you all in the next one.